The human brain is naturally wired to notice threats and negative information more intensely, and right now kind of feels like the news is a lion pride chasing you. There are days when I avoid everything related to news from the US. Then, when I come back from my hiatus, I get bombarded all over again. What did Steve Bannon call it? Flooding the zone. It's exhausting. On top of that, determining the bias of the news that I'm reading and finding original sources can be so time consuming. And then there are the emotionally charged titles. I swear, it has to be why everyone is struggling with low grade anxiety. Frankly, I step away from the news just so I can cope a little. I used to be really good at compartmentalizing, separating my emotions from what's going on. Pushing through was kind of a science for me, and now it feels more like an art, and I'm really struggling to find inspiration. After seeing what happened last week in that apartment building in Chicago, of course I shut down. This time was for far longer than usual. I'm very aware of how entitled that sounds. I'm in a space where I have the advantage of being able to tune out things from the US when I get overwhelmed by them. I want to stay informed about what's happening in the States, but I don't want to feel defeated when I do it. It was kind of like a genie had heard my wish and granted me the 47 action tracker. A professor in the UK started this project back in February. Professor Pagel and her band of volunteers created this site to inform the public about the actions of this regime, especially the ones that threaten democratic norms and institutions. We are documenting the actions, statements, and plans of 47 and his administration that may pose a threat to American democracy since the start of his second term in January 2025. This website, along with her YouTube channel, is what I will use on those days when I'm really struggling with news fatigue. What I like is that this tracker removes some of the sensationalism of what's happening and distills it into visual data. The information, well, it's divided into 5 domains: undermining democratic institutions and rule of law, dismantling federal government, and that shows us the efforts to weaken checks and balances, restrict press freedom, undermine states' rights, dismantle institutions, and violate the constitutional or the law, suppressing dissent and controlling information. These are actions that punish critics, impose loyalty tests, or control and manipulate information and evidence, dismantling social protections and rights, enrichment, and corruption, such as removing civil rights, attacking minority groups' protections, undermining diversity initiatives, and instances of corruption or self-enrichment, attacking science, environment, health, arts, and education. These are reductions in scientific independence, restrictions on research, attacks on education and universities. It's the weakening environmental protections, undermining of health initiatives, and the marginalizing of the arts, aggressive foreign policy and global destabilization, nationalism. These are threats and actions against other countries, destabilizing the international order, aligning with anti-democratic regimes, and promoting extreme nationalism. The actions, they can fall into more than one domain for visual and analytical purposes. And at the time of me recording this video, they have logged 1,460 actions. 604 of them are undermining democratic institutions and rule of law, dismantling federal government. Looking at the charts, which are done month by month, you can see that the number of actions is increasing with time. When you go to the logged items, it's really straightforward. You can filter out which categories you'd like to see. You can look up by keyword. You can also choose by date. The list of logged items displays the news reference along with the domain action that it actually belongs to, and the article's reference are linked for you as well. I'm not sure about you, but when I go on one of my news fasts, I'm unsure which way to turn when I'm ready to come back. And this tracker is a straightforward first step. In a sense, I'm going to use this tracker to help me see what I've missed. It'll also help me find my focus so that I can look deeper into what I've missed. And then I can go ahead and go to Ground News to find even more news sources and check for biases and discover news that's actually happening right now. Tell me, where are you getting your news right now? What are you doing to keep from being overwhelmed by everything that's happening? What I like about this tracker is that volunteers are maintaining it. They are looking for help. They are looking for people with the capability to fund their operations so that they can hire people to track the information. They're also looking for people who have research experience who can assist with analyses. They also ask for help with sharing this website with others. I've linked it in the video description. You can have a look for yourself at trumpactiontracker.info. This website isn't the primary way I gather news. I actually use Ground News for that. You can subscribe through my link to get 40% off of the Vantage subscription. It's the one that I use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription not only helps my channel, but it also supports Ground News as it makes the media landscape more transparent. As always, the resources I used for this video are in the video description. There you'll find the tracker and Professor Pagel's Substack and her YouTube channel. On her YouTube channel, she actually gives you daily updates on the news. It's essential that we establish clear boundaries regarding what's happening. I used to watch Fox to see the other side of the coin. That's not practical for me anymore. I prefer to just stick to reliable news outlets, even though they are becoming fewer. Well, I guess Fox is in trouble right now for allowing Democratic Senator Mark Kelly on air to talk about the impact of the government shutdown on healthcare. Fox should either get on board or get off board now, but at this point, it just doesn't make any difference to me. I'm also limiting the amount of news I consume every day. We know they are flooding the zone to make us all apathetic, and that's the opposite of what we should do. I do admit I did use this time away from the news this weekend for some good old brain rot. My current form of escapism is Korean and Chinese dramas. What's your escape if you're lucky enough to have one? Tell me in the comments. Also, I have a question for you. What do you want to talk about next? I have a lot of ideas in mind, but I want to know what you would like to talk about. Also, would you be interested in more frequent uploads from me? Currently, I upload on Mondays and Thursdays. Tell me your opinions in the comments. I want to thank you for joining me today. I will see you in the comments as usual. And if you're up for another one, check out this video or check this one out. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.